An easy casserole recipe can be a quick and simple way to make a meal for your family. Hey friends, my name is Susan and welcome to my home. Today I've got you 4 casserole dishes that your family are gonna love. Quick and simple, you just put it together and put it in the oven and let the oven do all the work. So let me get this ponytail up and let's get to making some amazing casserole dishes. You know they're gonna be good. So come on, let's get to cooking. And we're gonna make some of the string cheese manicotti bake. I saw Valerie Hargett made it and I had to try it because it looks so easy and so quick. So I've got me some string cheese ready to go, some manicotti shells, which are not easy to find, guys. I don't know if y'all have tried finding them lately. They're not. I finally found some though. Some traditional spaghetti sauce. I've got a little Italian seasoning, and a little bit of garlic salt right there. Some mozzarella cheese, and of course, the star of the show is the hamburger that's cooking up right now in the pan. And let me go ahead and get everything done to this so we can put everything together. Oh, and the oven is heating up to 350 as we speak. Around the hamburger meat, I've already drained everything off. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of Italian seasoning into it just because I do. And I'm also going to add a little bit of garlic salt. I do this on my lasagnas too, just a little bit. Not a ton, because I don't want it to be too garlicky. You can put minced garlic in if you want to. Either way is fine. I like the garlic salt because it does give it a little bit of salty taste. And then of course I'm going to put in some of our traditional spaghetti sauce from Aldi's, guys. If I can't have my homemade, then this is the next best thing. So let me go ahead and get this processed together. I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer for about a minute or two. The oven is still heating up, and that way it'll get all of the spaghetti sauce merged in with the hamburger meat. Now, just like I do with my lasagna, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of the spaghetti sauce in the bottom. That way it won't stick to the bottom of the pan. Now that I've got that all spread out, the easiest thing is to take the manicotti shell and then put the string cheese in it, and then place it in to the pan. And let's go ahead and get all of them done. Now, all of the manicotti are already in. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of water to it. I know that Valerie added a cup. My plate is a lot smaller than hers. So I'm going to just fill it up to where it is somewhat, not quite to the top of the manicotti, like that. That was probably almost a half a cup, and that way that should cover and then cook whenever we put it in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and add the hamburger meat with the spaghetti sauce in it on top and get that all spread out. Make sure that all of the manicotti is covered, which that makes a good little cover there. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven for about 20 minutes, and then when I bring it out, I will add the cheese on top. So let me go ahead and put some aluminum foil over the top of the pan and put it in the oven, 350 for 20 minutes. That way I can make sure that it steams the shells really, really good. And it's been 20 minutes in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and add on the mozzarella cheese on top. I add a lot of it because y'all know I like a good cheese pull. And then put it back in the oven for at least 10 minutes. We'll see by how everything looks in 10 minutes if it needs to go longer than 10 minutes. But that's looking really good. The dogs come in here to try to get a piece of cheese already. But you know, that's Buddy for you. Okay, let's put the aluminum foil back on and another 10 minutes. And we'll see how this looks. And y'all know we're not too big on brown cheese. You could put it underneath the broiler and get it browner than it is. We like a good cheese pull. Let's see if we can't get this out and on a plate. I've got some garlic toast and it'll be time to eat. And here you go. String cheese manicotti, a little bit of garlic toast on the back, and it smells amazing. And it's what's for supper tonight. And tonight I'm going to be making some beef enchilada casserole. I've got some onion, some minced garlic, some enchilada sauce. I always use the green. I like it better than the red, but I am going to be adding some rotel into this, because y'all know I love me some Mexican lime cilantro rotel. I do have some black beans. I'm going to be using taco seasoning instead of the spices they're calling for, because this just makes it easier. I've got some Fiesta blend cheese, and I've got our tortilla shells and hamburger meat cooking up in the frying pan. So let's get to getting all this done so we can get it in the oven. I do have the oven preheating on 375, and it's time to get it cooking. I'm cooking up the hamburger. I'm going to go ahead and add in half of an onion to the mix. That way it can get browning up also while the hamburger meat is getting cooked. And I'm going to go ahead and add in the garlic to let that be cooking up also. Ooh. And I tell you, this is already smelling good. It ain't got a whole lot going on with it yet. I've gone ahead and browned all the hamburger meat. I've added the onion, added the garlic. Now I'm going to drain the fat off. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in some of the other ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and add in the enchilada sauce, which I'm going to add about half of this. I think I might save some to go on top of it. Okay. I'm also going to add in the tomatoes, which is the rotel, of course. And black beans that have been rinsed and drained. Now I'm also going to put in some taco seasoning, about the equivalent of a sleeve of taco seasoning. And I'm going to go ahead and mix this around. Okay. While Buddy goes crazy. If you hear him going crazy in the background, Daddy just got home. He is loving it. He loves his daddy. And I'm going to go ahead and cover this and let this simmer all together for about 5 minutes. And then we'll be ready to make the enchiladas. This is going to be an easy casserole because you don't have to roll the enchiladas. You just basically place the bread in the pan, which you know me. I've got these big ones. If they were smaller, you'd need 4 of them, but you don't. Those are ready to roll. And now I'm going to put about half of this mixture into the pan where the tortillas are. I am going to go ahead and put a little bit of taco sauce over the top of this because y'all know that's just the way I roll. And a little bit of red and green dabbed around. Of course, you can put whatever you want on it. You can make it as hard as you want on it, as hot as you want it. But these seem to be some of our favorite flavors. Now I'm going to make a thin layer of cheese. We are just making some Mexican lasagna. That's what we're making. But, you know, that's okay because it's all good. Now let's make the second layer. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in the second layer of all of the good stuff that was in the skillet here and just pour it on in there. And I'm going to go ahead and layer up the next layer of the taco seasoning on top and some red and green. I've been debating on whether I wanted to add the green on top or not. I might just do it just to have a little bit more flavor going through. Because I did leave a little bit in the can. I thought I was going to need some for the top, but it looks like I'm not going to need some. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it all around the sides. Because I do like the green. And we're going to go ahead and put the second layer of cheese on. And this is probably going to be a little bit thicker layer because it is the top. And I want it to be nice and cheesy pooly, which I'm sure that's a word. But let me go ahead and get this filled out. And this is ready to go in the oven at 375 for 25 minutes. And then we'll bring it out and we'll be ready to eat. And this is a lot easier than rolling all those enchiladas up. This, a lot easier. Let's get it in the oven. And I just got it out of the oven and here it is. I don't know if you can see it boiling around the edges. This is going to be pretty good. I got it a little browner than I normally like it. We will see. 25 minutes may have been a little bit longer than we needed it, but for those who like a nice crispy crust, it's perfect. So let's get some of this on the plate. And here we go. Beef enchilada casserole. And I've already had a little taste and it is so good. guys. And it is what's for supper tonight. And tonight we're going to be making some Mexican tater tot casserole. I have been debating on putting Rotella in this recipe, and I've decided I'm not going to, since I've already changed one thing. Because y'all know how I like to change it up. What we're going to need is some Mexican cheese, some taco seasoning, some onion, green chili green chili enchilada sauce. Y'all know what I'm thinking about. Some green chilies themselves, some kidney beans that are rinsed and drained, some corn that is rinsed. And I am going to go ahead and put the tater tots in the oven to let them get firm. Y'all know, if y'all have ever watched my tater tot casserole, I like to get a little crisp on these before I mix it with everything else. That's just the way I like it. And of course, the star of the show, the hamburger. I'm about to brown up, drain, and then start adding everything too. So let's come back whenever the tater tots get done and the hamburger gets browned, and we'll get everything put together. Oh, and I've started the oven on 375. So let's get cooking. And I've got the hamburger browned and drained. I'm going to go ahead and add in some of the other ingredients. It says 1 medium onion chopped, about 1/4 of a cup. Well, you know me, I'm a Vidalia onion lover. So we're going to add a good little bit of onion in here. If you don't like onion, don't add it. But for me, yep, Vidalia onion is the only way to go. It does call for some black beans. And it does call for some corn. Next, I'm going to add in the green chilies. That's good, okay. And the taco seasoning. And if you're enjoying today's video, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss any of the good food and fun. Now, it says in the instructions to go ahead and add the whole can of green chili enchilada sauce. I'm not, and I'll show you why. I'm going to add about 1/4 of it. That looks about good. You don't need a whole can. You're going to put it in a little later. I'll show you where I'm going to put it. And I'm actually going to go ahead and let this cook just a minute or two till I got red beans instead of black beans. Oh, well, whatever. Thought I got black beans. Until the beans get a little bit doner. So, let's go ahead and let that cook up just a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the bean and beef mixture in the cooking dish. Look at that. Ooh, that looks pretty good. All right. Let me go ahead and spread it out because I'm going to put the taters on the top. And no, I did not use a 9x13. Y'all know we don't need that much food. I've kind of consolidated it into an 8x8. Now the next phase is to put the tater tots on. And I have let them get a little bit brown, because you know that's what I like. And I'm going to just layer them on. Alright, now I've got all of them laid out. Y'all know me. I like to have them in rows. And I'm going to pour the rest of the green chili enchilada sauce on top of it. Just because I think it needs something on top of the tater tots that will ooze down into all the meat below instead of putting all the nice stuff on the bottom. There we go. And I'm sure this is probably going to run all over the place, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some cheese on the top. And then it's going to go in the oven for 30 minutes, and it's already trying to come out the dish. This is not going to. Now put it on a pan. That way if it boils over, which it's probably going to because I'm trying to condense a big meal into a small container, then at least it'll be contained. And I'm going to put this in the oven for 30 minutes and let that cheese melt up real pretty. And then we'll see what we've got when we come back. And 30 minutes later, this is what it looks like. Look at that. Let's dish some out and put a little cheese on it and call it amazing. And here we go. I put a little bit of cheese on it. I'm going to put a little bit of sour cream in the middle. Y'all know I don't do that great in sour cream. But that's it. Mexican tater tot casserole. And it's what's for supper tonight. And let's do a little bit of low-carb meal prep. You can definitely make this as a meal or a good meal prep. Make one of these, and then you can eat for, you know, 3 or 4 days on it, lunches, which is what I'm going to do. I am going to make a deep dish pizza casserole. It says keto, and that's pretty much right, except I am going to be finishing using up my traditional spaghetti sauce, which, if you want to go the lowest carb way, is the Rao's. This one has 9 net carbs. Rao's has 5. I've got some diced up olives. I don't know if you've ever seen this. That's already got the diced olives in the to-go cups. Awesome. I love eating them like this. Great snack. I have some browned up hamburger meat with Italian seasoning on it that I made yesterday that I didn't use in recipe. I'm going to use it in this one. It does call for 1 pound of hamburger, but I'm going to use that instead. I've got some sliced baby bell mushrooms. I've got some onions. I've got some green peppers, pepperoni, and mozzarella cheese. Pretty quick, pretty simple, pretty easy. The only thing I don't have out is the pickled jalapenos. I think I've got some. If not, that's okay. Everything else is a pizza. The pickled jalapenos are more like Mexican. So I've kind of left them out. So let's go ahead and get some stuff in the pan heating up so we can get this in the oven. And I do have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. So it's ready for the casserole. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of avocado oil in the pan. I've got it on a high right now, just to give it something so they don't stick. And of course, this cookware never sticks. What am I talking about? A little bit of flavor in it. I'm going to go ahead and add in all of the green bell peppers. That was 1 green bell pepper. I'm going to go ahead and add that in, let that be heating up. I've been letting these cook a little bit. They're starting to get a little brown in some places, which is awesome. Now it's time to go ahead and add in the onions. And I'm going to go ahead and add in some mushrooms. It calls for 8 ounces of baby bell mushrooms. The big container I have is 8 ounces. I am not going to put the whole thing in there. I do believe I'm just going to put about half of it. I like mushrooms, but I like them when they're cooked down quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put this. I may be wrong. I may need to put the whole thing. But I do like mushrooms, so why not? Whole thing. There we go. They're low carb, so they're awesome. Add flavor. I'm going to go ahead and let this saute down in the pan so the mushrooms get a little bit softer. And then I'm going to add the hamburger meat in, which you're supposed to actually cook first, and then add everything else in. But, you know, I already had it cooked from yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and let this saute down just a little bit. It is right now on a medium. I'm going to turn it down to about a medium low until these mushrooms get just a little bit softer. I've let this cook for about probably 5 minutes, and the mushrooms are starting to get a little bit softer. And of course they've changed color. They're looking really nice. I'm going to go ahead and add in the hamburger meat that I should have cooked to begin with, but you know, need to get this used up. I'm also going to add in the black olives. I just used 1 of those little containers of black olives. It calls for 12 pepperoni. I'm just going to put in a good little bit because it's a pizza. Put that in. And then it calls for 1.5 cups of spaghetti sauce, which I'm just, you know, or pizza sauce, which is, I'm just using the spaghetti sauce. I think that's probably about right. Let me go ahead and stir this in and see how everything is looking. It looks really good. It looks like the top of a pizza with no crust, which is awesome. I love vegetables in a pizza. I think I'm going to need to add just a little bit more of the spaghetti sauce though, since I didn't measure. Go ahead and finish using that up, because this is definitely a good clean your fridge out moment. All right. Now this is ready to go in the casserole dish. Now let's go ahead and get this into the casserole dish. And I think I've got perfect size. I think this is a 2-quart, if I'm not mistaken. I love this dish. Perfect size for a lot of things. I'm going to go ahead and spread it out. Look at that. And it smells so good. It smells like there's a pizza being made in my kitchen right now. which is not a bad thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and add on the mozzarella cheese and get that divided out. It calls for a cup and a half or half a cup, whatever. I'm just putting it on. I like me a lot of cheese pull. I don't think I've got enough, so I got to put some more on here. And now I've got everything covered in cheese the way I want it. This is going to go into the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. It doesn't need long because everything is already cooked. So let me get this in there for about 10 minutes and see what it looks like. And here's what it looked like straight out of the oven. I did leave it in for about 15 to 20 minutes. Still did not get the top as brown as it is right now. I did go ahead and put it on broil and let it broil for a little bit to get the top brown. Because I like some good brown cheese, and mine wasn't doing it, but it did it. So let me go ahead and let this cool off just a little bit, and then we'll plate it up. And here you go. I got 2 big spoonfuls out because I'm going to take a bite out of this one. And it looks really, really good. Look at that. Oh, pizza without the crust. And of course, if you wanted to do it with the crust, you could always put one of the pizza crusts inside. Not a problem. But this looks really good. Weren't those casserole dishes amazing? I told you, quick and easy, and the oven does all the work. And if you haven't already, please press that button down below and subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming fun, and ring that bell so you know whenever my next video comes out. And until then, see you then.